Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare.
Christmas has a Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log.
All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the lightning.
We named the dog Indiana.
I am your father.
Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of Three Geeky Dads, the show that promises entertainment but pretty much leaves you with a rash. I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
Forgot for a second, a rash. And with us, as always, to say F you to math is our fourth dad, Tito.
Hey, everybody.
And also joining us tonight to ring in another fine episode in our series of 4 is loyal listener, friend of the show, one of our favorite guests. You know him as Dan Bacon.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back,
Hi,
Dan.
Dan.
I'm the fifth Beatle.
How does everybody else know
back
you?
then, I was known as the fifth Beatle.
How does everybody
Yeah, I
else know
know.
him? You know him as Dan Bacon. We know him as... I felt like there was something that was supposed to come after
shut
that.
up.
That guy who always
sounded-
shits on Mark.
You're missing that extra page, Mark. You dropped that other page somewhere.
See what happens when you don't have a computer.
Shut up, man. This is long. Let me get through this.
It slipped through the cracks.
Many things do. Tonight, we continue onward through our series of 4. All through May, 4 movies, all number 4s, and a film series. And all of them drink till it's good. This episode, we journey through both hell and space as we review the 4th film in the Hellraiser series titled Hellraiser Bloodline. But before we stuff our faces with a main course of pins, worms, and Cenobites, we, of course, like to kick things off with an appetizer.
What about breakfast?
You've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second
For
breakfast?
that, I now turn things over to our own Wolfgang Puck of Pin Hiddley. You know him as, take that, Tito, Brian.
We do. Who does everyone else know him as?
Everybody
is what I
else
want to know.
listening
I want to know.
to
What do you
the
guys?
show
B-Rams. That's his
knows
street name.
Dan. All 3 of our listeners that aren't guests or soon-to-be ex-co-hosts know him as Dan. Go ahead, Brian.
Hello, everybody. So when a horror franchise takes its killer antagonist into space, it usually signals the fact that the writers and producers have run out of ideas and have jumped the shark. Think Leprechaun 4, or Jason X, or even Vin Diesel from Fast and the Furious. He went into space too, kids. Tonight's movie, Hellraiser Bloodlines, does just that, bringing everyone's favorite master of the Rubik's Cube from hell, Pinhead, into a space station populated by some people that will have such sights shown to them. Because of that fact, we geeky dads, along with friend of the show, Dan Bacon, want to take a look at some of our favorite characters from movies, TV, comics, etc., that we also would like to see have an adventure among the stars.
Wow.
That sounds delicious.
It does. It sounds
I'll
yummy.
have seconds.
Excuse me, point of order. Vin Diesel did not go to space.
That's right. That's right. It was
was
Tyrese
ludicrous.
and Ludacris.
I was hoping part 10 was going to be them trying to figure out how to get back home. That's what I was hoping part 10 was going to
floating
be.
around.
I want to see a space shuttle jump a Titanic. You know, if we don't get that,
They get
have
sucked
failed.
into a black hole, and the family has to go find them.
Just floating around like that monkey that we mentioned last week.
Oh, yeah, they find him.
that poor little guy.
The tech girl has to invent warp speed.
Family's lost in space. That's my shitty Vin Diesel.
So who's going first?
It was better than he sounded. Go ahead, man. Start us off.
Me?
Would you like to start us off?
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Tito, you
Go
first. Tito, you first.
Dude, I don't have
You
pages.
are-
You got pages, man.
Well, no,
You
this
already
is.
spoke.
I've got the whole show in
Yeah.
pages.
Oh,
It's just,
okay.
This is the
Unless Dan wants to
appetizer.
go because he's the guest, but mine is short and awesome, so I don't know how you guys are going to talk.
I hate following Tito.
We all do.
So in my movie, and again, like the science hasn't been worked out yet. The writers will figure out the science of how this all happens.
Logic. Cute.
So in my movie, Earth is uninhabitable, and everyone now lives on this giant space station orbiting whatever was left of the Earth. You know, that old gem.
That old chestnut.
And someone is murdering prostitutes in what is considered to be, let's say, a poor section of the space station, right? It turns out someone has created a Jack the Ripper replica. No way.
No.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay.
My first choice, though.
It's a replica. It's a Jack the Ripper replica who is on the loose and he's committing these crimes. And there's a young station officer, like a detective of the station, played by me because it's my movie.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be Johnny Depp.
No. This is better. This is gonna blow your fucking
Amber
mind
Heard.
with this one.
No, she's the prostitute.
She's the dead one in the. With the
First prostitute found dead.
She charges extra for poop on the bed.
So, I'm the only one who believes this to be more than just random deaths, right?
Okay.
So, I reach into my childhood and I use whatever technology has been used to create this replica Jack the Ripper, and I create and assemble a team of heroes to stop Jack the Ripper.
Oh,
I know.
And they
your
follow.
only League of Extraordinary.
Bingo. They're all played by the same actor though. So we have Doc Holliday.
Okay, all right. I was gonna say,
got you.
good. All right. I'm glad this is where it's going.
We have Doc Holliday from Tombstone. We have Iceman from Top Gun.
Oh,
we have
shit.
Mad Mardigan from Willow, and we have Simon Templar from The Saint.
Oh, what? No Batman?
No.
No Jim
He's-
Morrison.
Batman's in everything. We don't need any more
If you brought
Batman.
Batman, he doesn't need any of the others.
No.
That's true.
No. Oh, so I almost thought because he's very smart and he is a private
Kiss,
he's a
kiss,
private
right? Kiss, kiss,
investigator.
Batman.
He is a private investigator. Simon Templar was like, well, he's the least, but he's got like tools and shit, and he can disguise
Disguises,
himself.
yeah.
And Doc Holliday, but we're talking like straight up tuberculosis Doc Holliday. I don't want like healthy Doc Holliday.
You want him
I want drunken, broken,
boots,
yeah,
slurring his
A hanky full of blood.
sweat all over his
Straight up
shirt.
blood.
Okay.
Wheezing in the background.
I know. Why don't we have a spelling contest?
And that's my space movie.
Nice.
Excellent. You've assembled a team of Kilmers.
I would see
Yeah.
that.
Fantastic.
I would see
Absolutely.
that.
I would totally see.
I would watch
Yeah,
Kilmers.
you should.
I'm
I'm in it too.
You want me to
Yeah,
go?
that was very.
And I'm
yeah,
there.
of course you are.
You're a hero.
Yeah.
Okay, so when Mark sent me this note and said you got to pick a character that goes to space, I had a lot of fun writing a scene. I put together a scene, so I'm going to read you the scene, and I'm going to see how long it takes you guys before you groan and go All right. So we start you off with a shot of the moon with multiple spaceships flying around it. The camera soars over the moon to see a large domed space station / city on the lunar surface. The camera then joins the ship as it flies towards the docking bay. You enter through the docking bay and sweep through the station docks. You get that nice sweeping camera kind of shot. It flies up over inside the dome. It looks around. You see streets, future cars, future people, all kinds of stuff. And it zooms in on 3 guys. The 3 guys are walking down the street. You only see them from the corner, from the shoulder. So you only see them looking down. You can't see their faces. As they walk down the street, you see that there is Christmas stuff there are Christmas displays and Christmas and Christmas things in all of the stores as they continue walking. They eventually walk up to the front of a lunar bank.
Oh God.
As we reach,
I know what it is. Do you?
the camera. Okay, let's see.
All right.
The camera stays. So as they continue at the shop windows. Okay, so the Christmas. The 3 men walk past the security guard, who gives them a knowing nod. A little wink, wink. The 3 men raise weapons, and it's clearly a bank heist. Several of the patrons join with the 3 men, using surprise to jump the many other security guards and patrons. And in seconds, the bank is taken over. The leader has still not shown his face. The Christmas music playing continues as all of the people are rounded up, as they always do in those movies. Right. Finally, the leader heads to the bank manager's office. The bank manager is a woman. She stares down at the men in her office. Who are you? What do you want? Do you know who owns this bank? The leader steps forward, and you hear a very familiar voice for the first time. Although very familiar, it sounds oddly distorted. This bank is under our control. You will do what I say when I say it, or we will execute hostages for every 5 minutes until you comply. The camera slides to the side. We cannot see his face. The leader reaches for the nameplate on the desk. The camera can't see the name on the plate yet, but you can see the watch on his wrist. It's a gold women's wristwatch with a cracked face. The wristwatch, under the wristwatch, you see a mechanical and slightly inhuman-looking wrist and hand. The camera pans up, and you see the leader's face. It's Hans Gruber, exactly the same as he was when he died, but with subtle cybernetic enhancements and a few small prosthetics. He smiles and he looks down at the nameplate and he looks up and says, "Do you understand me, Ms. McLean?" So, cut to...
It's not what I thought it was.
All right.
Cut to Bruce Willis, digitally de-aged, waking up on a table in a lab. And they turned to him and Mr. McLean, we need your help. And it's every fucking cliche you guys can think of where it's Die Hard in space. They digitally bring back Alan Rickman. They digitally bring back Bruce because obviously he's not in any shape either. So it kind of works out. And I couldn't come up with a good, a good day to Die Hard kind of thing. But I did get, in space, no one can hear you Die Hard.
All right.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Nice.
So,
I like that.
I was thinking it was Trapped in Paradise.
I was like, no, I can't do Trapped in Paradise.
The Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because when he said the three guys and Christmas and the bank, I'm like,
right.
No, I was thinking of doing Trapped. I hadn't even thought of that, but I just love the idea of doing another Die Hard, but go like hardcore future, steal from everything else, like clones and cybernetics and all this other garbage, and to just throw it in and just be, wait, this is a Die Hard movie? Like the same way like half of the sequels weren't actually supposed to be Die Hard movies. They just
took a script and
they just took a
changed
script and shoehorned it in. I'm like, this will be perfect. This doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
What about you, Bri?
Hold on, I got to bring the mic around. Space vampires are nothing new. In the 1960s, Star Trek, the original series, did it with their first season episode called The Man Trap with the shape-shifting salt vampire. In the 1970s, Buck Rogers in the 25th centuries did it with the cleverly named space vampire in an episode also cleverly named The Space Vampire.
Sexy Marky Post.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes, indeed.
That's a great episode.
As opposed to not so sexy Marky Post.
There was never been a time when that woman was not sexy, sir. Well, maybe now because she's dead. But
Yeah.
See, I wasn't going to go there.
She
I
died,
was thinking
yeah.
it, but I wasn't going to say it.
That's all right. I'll do it. Have a few more of those. You'll be fine.
She's getting hotter.
Sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
Derek will jump her bones.
I like it when they lie still like that. It's for the frighteners.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Brian.
Go, sorry. Space.
So I was thinking, why not Dracula in space?
Son of a. No, I'm kidding.
I had a feeling I might be treading on some
You didn't
some
at all.
territory.
Nope, no.
All right.
We were
So
nervous.
in my scenario, the USS Demeter is winding its way from the planet Transylvania to Earth. The journey, even under high warp, will take months. Most of the non-essential crew and all of the passengers are in hypersleep for the long journey. Not long after departure, some of the passengers begin to die off in their hibernation tubes. Captain Van Helsing and the ship's Dr. Seward, along with first mate Jonathan Harker, begin to piece together that the failing life signs are no accident. Someone or something is killing the passengers and crew, and it's up to them to find out what's draining the blood of the slumbering victims before they reach Earth.
Nice. I like that.
Excellent. I would say that.
That sounds very.
Brian was
very
like, never
BBC.
again. Never again.
That is very much. That is something that I expect to see on BBC next week.
That was awesome. Never again.
That's awesome, dude.
I just picked a song that was going to go with my character. You guys made up stories. Nah. Right? It was like, fuck that. You guys will never one-up me. Ever. That was fucking awesome.
I was really hoping to go before Mark this time.
Nice.
I arranged it as such because you were very nervous, and I said, "Oh man, if we."
That was good, dude.
Nice.
I would see Space Dracula.
Totally.
I'm pretty sure. Didn't one of the Dracula 2000s though? Didn't they jump into the future? Like not Dracula.
No, but
2000,
after the Dracula 2000 trilogy, there was another one that was I think it was called Dracula 3000.
Yeah.
No connection to those movies,
Okay.
but like, and the cover was like, it looked like a Geiger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Geiger or Geiger?
Giger, tomato, tomato. Yeah, it was like an alien-ish looking vampire. Yeah, I do remember that. What's yours, man?
All right, so I went all in. I got AKA titles for mine too.
Okay, awesome.
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
Oh, thank God I didn't do that.
AKA Evil Dead of Space.
I had thought about
AKA That's No Moon, That's a Dead Star. AKA Ash and Remy's Extraterrestrial Adventure. AKA Event Horizon 2 Electric Boogaloo. The year is 2281. I am 281 years old, and and then the Morriston Archaeological Group has returned to uninhabitable Earth to search for long-forgotten human knowledge. During the dig, they unearth a book that is nice. Don't take my drink away. It's just the screen's bright, you know? During the dig, they unearth a book that has not appeared to have decayed since the last planetary exodus. The team returns to the Morriston space station where, as expected, the Deadites are unleashed on the space station. Historian Remy Samuels, great-great-granddaughter of Mia Allen of the 2013 film. I'm tying them both in.
Nice.
Because I dug that movie.
It's not a bad flick.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I like that
yeah,
one.
solid.
Deduces that the station's only hope is to rip through the Merlin portal and bring back the one man who spent his life fighting the Deadites, Ash Williams. He's brought back through the portal to join up with Remy and several expendable characters destined for nightmare ends and prove that in space, your screams can definitely be heard.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yes.
See,
Very good.
I would have gone with like if you go with the apocalypse version
Yeah.
of Army of Darkness where he wakes up. I slept too long.
Well, yeah. Well, that's
You
why
can-
I was like, that's why I called it the Merlin portal and the Harriston. Mm-hmm. Was that what I named it? I can't even remember. Morriston.
Morriston.
Morristown is where they filmed the first movie.
Nice.
Morristown, Tennessee. I think.
I'll go with that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure actually. Sounds right. Sounds like a place.
And
where
Remy Samuels,
Sounds
that's
like
just
a
a play on
place.
Sam Raimi. It's a play on his name.
I would do Deadites in space. That'd be fun.
cleverly.
Give him an electric
Yeah.
chainsaw hand.
I wasn't sure whether to go cryogenic, like he had been frozen,
Uh-huh.
or like do his like great grandkids and like they're descendants of him. But
No, I
Morristown,
like the way you
Tennessee.
did it.
huh?
Morristown, Tennessee.
Oh, that's
Yes.
right.
You were-
Yeah, Morristown.
Oh, you can have, like I said, like if you do the I slept too long alternate ending,
Yeah.
then he just wakes up and then
That's
they pick
true.
him up
He's
like
in
five.
space, yeah.
They pick him up 5 minutes later. You know, it's just him.
Now I like how you brought the portal in. That
right?
makes total sense. That portal has to be in
I
there.
was like, how do I bring him back? I'm like, and that's the thing is, do you cryogenically freeze him, or or is there? I'm like, the portal from Army of Darkness.
For God's sake, how do you stop it?
Just the like Jesus Christ, I'm in space. Like, cause he would totally fourth wall like the whole thing.
Oh, absolutely,
You know,
absolutely. It would be like a comedy. I would
So
want
it comes to this.
I would want it to be a comedy version of Event Horizon,
Right.
Because I would want some like good scares and good like gruesome stuff happening on the space station, but
Sure.
at the same time,
Which is funny. It's Event Horizon has been dubbed by some to be Hellraiser in space.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of
That's
chains.
right. That's
and
right.
Skinless people.
Skinless people with 6 nipples and
Yeah.
no box though.
No.
No, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't call it that. I like
6
Hellraiser.
nipples and no box.
guys.
in space.
Event Horizon is space Cthulhu. It's not.
Totally.
It's space
Yeah.
Cthulhu. It's not Hellraiser.
I-
Well, it's not a box. It's the puzzle sphere.
the puzzle sphere.
Yeah,
The thing, the gate.
That
I was
comment
worried that it was going to be that you were going to pick Evil
So I did 2 of them.
Yeah.
One of them was an Evil Dead one. But
Was
I,
it?
I had a
Oh.
feeling, but yours is 1,000 times better.
No.
I have a backup for
Okay.
this one.
I'm
and
sorry. All right.
Nah, because I kind of like this one better. Mine is a movie called This Is Spinal Tap in Space.
Oh my god.
All right, so
Is it ... in space?
it sure is. It's a little space is a little too black.
Hello, Space Cleveland.
Old and washed up, Spinal Tap members David St. Hubbins, Nigel Tufnell, and Derek Smalls are desperate for work. As luck would have it, NASA is throwing a retirement party for former Lieutenant Bob Hooks, who hosted an Air Force event that Spinal Tap once performed at back in 1984. Realizing they can get the band super cheap, the heads of NASA reach out to Spinal Tap, who agree to perform. They just need a drummer because all their past drummers are dead. Arriving at NASA, the 3 are greeted by a man named Darty Mibergi. The band is set who is the new and mysterious drummer.
Oh, okay.
The band is set to perform when, of course, the band can't find their way to the stage. They end up on a space shuttle and launched into space by their drummer, the elusive Darty Mibergi, who is in fact Marty DeBurgi, washed-up filmmaker who blames Spinal Tap for the downfall of his career. The three members of Spinal Tap crash land on what appears to be an M-class planet where its inhabitants have never heard of rock music and look upon the members of Spinal Tap as gods. They celebrate all their music, making Spinal Tap a sensation once more. A happy ending. But there's a post-credit scene. David St. Hubbard's, Nigel Tufnell, and Derek Smalls are living the life as rock gods on their new home world, not realizing that if they just looked over a few hills, they would see a sign saying, "Welcome to Cleveland," meaning their ship never made it to space, and that it was Earth.
Hello, Cleveland.
All along.
Nice.
But they did finally get to Cleveland.
There you go.
They saw an 18-inch model of Stonehenge and said, "You maniacs!"
I almost put that, but I wanted to do Cleveland because they could not find the Cleveland audience the first time.
That's brilliant.
So this is Spinal Tap.
Love it.
Space.
I would see that.
I would see all of these movies.
Yeah.
Totally.
We did good this time, guys.
Awesome appetizers.
Yeah.
Very good. Shall we get to the main course?
Absolutely. Let's do the main course.
All right, cool.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Brian, your intro was so good with Hellraiser. I think I'm going to cut some of mine out.
No. Do you want me to read yours?
No. You can't read mine.
I can punch it up.
In 1987, horror writer Clive Barker made his directorial debut with the movie Hellraiser. The film was based on Barker's novella, The Hellbound Heart, and told the story about a family destroyed when one of them opens a mysterious puzzle box that unleashes hell and its demonic guardians called the Cenobites. That's the gist, anyway. The lead Cenobite was a towering S&M dress monstrosity named Pinhead, for obvious reasons. It pins in his head, so that's why it's called Pinhead. It's pretty,
that's
pretty
why.
He was in a 1932 circus freak.
I thought he wore lots. I thought it was because he wore lots of pieces of flair.
He was an escaped extra from a Todd Browning film.
One of us.
Oh, God.
Barker confessed that both Pinhead and the Cenobites were meant to be secondary characters, the Boba Fett of the Hellraiser universe, if you will. But audiences gravitated more toward the Cenobites, Pinhead in particular, and he has since become the very icon of the Hellraiser films, joining the ranks of Michael Myers, Jason, and Freddy. So you knew it was only a matter of time before he ended up in space. Hellraiser Bloodline. What happened?
No, I was just... He is the very model of an
He
SM
is.
individual.
Thank you, Brian. Hellraiser Bloodline tells the story of the origin of the famed Lament configuration, as well as its toy-making inventor and his generational timeline of past, present, and future, as his descendants battle Pinhead and his demonic forces. It's cheesy, it's got some bad acting, it was dismissed by its director, hence why Alan Smithy appears in the directing credit. But is it really all that bad? Did some of us like it? Who hated it? Well, it may be all over the place and our opinions may vary, but it's still a fourth film in our series of 4, making it perfect for another altogether, my fellow S&M friends.
Drink
till it's good.
It begins! Give us a drink. Give them all a drink here.
Hi, Lloyd. A little slow tonight, isn't it?
I'm tired. I'm wasted.
Is that an alcoholic beverage? I'd sell my grandmother for a drink.
Oh, just call me Billy. Everyone does.
Crazy drunk drivers. Some folks have a strange idea to entertain.
They certainly do. Don't they, Derek?
Mm-hmm.
Same sense of the
Oh,
drinking.
that was a drunkard joke at my expense.
Derek, how are you hydrating and dehydrating at the same time?
I am talented. That's my mutant ability. That's my.
Your body's inside, just like, well, we're feeling better and worse at the same time.
Do what I do. Poison yourself with aspartame.
For the audience that can't see me wallowing, I have Powerade and vodka, and that's why they make such jokes.
Yes, we do. We jest, but it's all out of love.
I'm going to keep drinking it.
Screw you guys.
As well you should.
I've drank worse.
Hellraiser Bloodline from 1996, a.k.a. Trek Your Soul Apart, a.k.a. We Have Such Cysts to Show You, a.k.a. Hey, look, it's Adam Scott, a.k.a. Pins in space.
Oh, well done. Well done.
I saved the best for last. They can't all be good, folks. Starring Doug Bradley, Valentina Vargas, Kim Myers, Bruce Ramsey, Christine
No relation.
Christine Harnos. No relation to Christine Harnos or Bruce Ramsey. And Adam Scott as the Beaver, directed by Alan Smithy, a.k.a. Joe Chappell and Kevin Yeager, who horror fans will know as the master effectsman behind Nightmare on Elm Street 2, 3, and also created Chucky. God bless him. And he's also married to Catherine Hicks. So if you're a Star Trek Voyage Home
Oh,
fan,
that's right. He's the one that's married to her.
That's
Seventh
right.
Heaven.
Yep.
That's right. The mom from Seventh Heaven.
The
Yep, that's
mom
right.
from Seventh Heaven. All right, so opening thoughts. Who wants to go? Who wants to start? You guests want to go first?
I guess.
All right, so Dan, you are you're the one who got me into Hellraiser.
Yes.
And Clive Barker back.
And S&M.
And S&M.
And apparently Pinheads.
You also have 6 nipples.
I am.
Well, that wasn't supposed to come out. No,
Ew.
but you did. You showed me the first 3 Hellraisers.
I did.
And then I remember we were seeing, it might have been Jason Goes to Hell, I'm not sure, or something, and there was the preview for the 4th Hellraiser film,
Yes.
which I remember you being very excited for, and never
Yeah.
speaking of it again. So 20, 30-something years later, however long ago, what are your thoughts on Hellraiser Bloodline?
Well, I can see why I purged this from the memory banks. When I think Hellraiser, I think 1 and 2, and I think kindly on 3, but there are parts of 3 that are just trash. 4 for me was never one of those, like 4 for me killed the franchise. Like I understood what they were trying to do to a point, but I can also see, you can just see where studio notes were just drowning the movie. Like there's characters that don't make any sense. There's stuff that doesn't happen that you would expect to have happen. A lot of the interaction with the characters, you don't know what their motivations are. So there's plot, but the characters don't seem to be part of the plot.
Yeah.
So it's weird too, because this one has a great story overall, and the lead guy, I don't know the actor's name or the character, Le Marchand,
Bruce Ramsey.
Merchant. Okay, yep. Bruce. I didn't know anything he's ever done ever. Couldn't pick him out of a lineup. And Pinhead never phones it in. Doug Bradley's amazing. He's selling every scene he's in. And I actually didn't mind Angelique. I thought she was cool as a creepy, like pre-Pinhead hell demon. I thought she was interesting, and I thought it was like, for all of you B5 nerds, the fact that Beta Jurassic is the guy who summons her at the beginning.
Yeah.
Is like Londo is the bad guy. It's like, yeah, it kind of messes you up when you figure it out. So I was like, oh my god, this Beta Jurassic, he did something other than Tron, and so I watched it again just last night just to get ready for this, and I just sat through it. I'm like, oh gosh, and like it just doesn't get better. It's not horrible. Like, I watched it, which I can say there's plenty of movies where I would turn it off and not even bother. I wanted to see where this went. I couldn't remember everything. I was willing to let it get there. But when I looked at my collection, I have Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3 on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, and it doesn't go beyond that.
Same.
And I could, even if you wanted this to be the bookend, where you watch 1, 2, 3, and 4 and then stop, and don't ignore all the direct-to-video stuff. This one, it's the weakest of the 4, but at least it caps it off well.
It does, yeah.
Like
it does have a
like,
closure at the end. Yeah.
And the space stuff is the best part of the movie.
When it's finally there.
When you finally get there.
Well, you're there in the beginning,
right?
For very brief, and then
but it doesn't feel it.
End.
It doesn't even feel it.
It's a very quick, very quick.
Yeah, and so like when you get to the when they go to space and the space stuff really kicks in full blast, that stuff I found interesting, and I enjoyed. And the Cenobites, I don't like the twins, but I like Angelique both before and after when she gets.
Twins.
I got notes on the twins.
Oh god, the twins!
I hate the fucking twins. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Even the way the twins kill people is like, the guy could have run away about 5 times before they caught him.
Yeah,
and just dumb. But I did like I read somewhere at some point the Chatterer is a person who's been forced into an animal shape.
Yeah, it's a human and a dog that were in a car accident.
Yeah, like
yes.
it's not just
right.
it's not just it's not just a skinless dog.
Yeah,
that one. Yeah.
And so that part of it I thought was cool. It's like, okay,
although it made me think of Resident Evil.
Yeah, but
the look of it was.
I didn't. I thought for practical effects, I thought it held up pretty well.
Yeah.
Have you? Okay, so who hasn't seen one? You've seen them all, right? Have you?
I haven't seen them all, no, but I've
you-
seen 1 through. I've seen 1 through 4.
All right, so you've seen
4.
just 4, and Brian.
I've seen 1, 2, and maybe 3, and now 4.
3's the fun one.
So
with
like Derek, I've
3's
seen.
the fun one with the CD face, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
then I haven't seen 3.
Oh, get
so I've
ready.
seen.
That
I
one's
know
great.
I've definitely
Get
seen
ready.
1
That
and
one's-
2.
I love that one.
I've seen
it's
1
a
many
fantastic
times. I've seen 2 maybe twice, and 4 I've watched last week.
So the Chatterbox, what creeped me out about that in part 2 was that it was a kid.
Yeah.
That somehow a kid got hold of that box. They don't show it,
Yeah.
but knowing that at one time a little kid got hold of that box and went through that anguish really is a
Remember
really
when
creepy
Hellraiser
part.
was over the line and
Yeah.
scary and creepy?
Well,
It was a good time.
I was telling Mark the other day, I went to go find all of the unrated versions because I had all of the unrated versions of these movies either on VHS or DVD back in the day, and no one's released the unrated versions. The jury's still out whether or not the unrated version is the one that Arrow just released for number 2. But there are unrated versions of all of them that add like significant, gross, like a lot of gross stuff, but significant like character stuff. That's
I know
missing.
Arrow released a version of 3 because it's got Terry from 3 on the cover in her Cenobite form.
Yeah, I can't.
Yes. Yeah. And because you don't even see her become a Cenobite.
No,
right?
she just shows up with a
just
cigarette
shows
in the
up
neck.
after.
Yeah.
That's where the movie kind of loses
Yeah.
it, but overall, it's still fun. Brian, how about you? Moving on.
Well, I'm glad that we're doing a recap of this movie because we just watched this last week, and
did.
I remember liking it because I wasn't sure what we were in for.
I thought you were tired because we were drained from talking about the Fantastic Four.
I was tired,
And
but I
like,
was
did you
looking
really
forward to
enjoy
seeing
this?
this.
Or was he loopy?
No, I was looking forward to seeing this because I had never seen it before, but I didn't know what we were in for because I know our track record for 4th movies in a franchise.
Right.
Or
And-
movies in general.
Or
When we
movies in
sit and
general.
watch movies after
Yeah.
recording.
And I remember not hating it. I remember actually thinking it was a fairly decent Hellraiser movie. But I
That
didn't.
you have no basis.
I do have.
You're out of your element, Brian.
I've seen parts 1 and 2.
Any movie that you watch after Fan 4 Stick is going to be a really good movie.
Agreed.
That is
agreed.
true.
But it was enjoyable but forgettable. Because I was sitting there today like, oh, what are we going to talk about? Because I don't really remember details from this movie.
Right.
You guys just mentioned the twins. And I'm like, oh, shit, the twins. That's right. That was pretty cool and weird.
Yes and no.
Yeah, well, yes
Yeah.
and no. It was cool and weird in a bad way.
I mean, the effects of them
Were cool, but the twins themselves
of
were.
Pinhead turning.
Yes.
Because there's
It's
2
great.
scenes,
Yeah.
and the first one is great. The creation of the twins.
But
Yeah.
the twins as a character,
like
as
I don't even
characters?
understand why do they detach
Yeah.
in order to kill this other guy? Oh,
Yeah.
because they squish him. Like that's stupid.
Yeah, that
Science,
was stupid.
Derek.
Yeah.
Science.
Yeah.
Logic.
Science.
Magic.
My whole thing was the twins before and the acting.
What's this?
Yeah.
A door.
Yeah.
Fucking
I know
morons.
it was like Abbott and friggin' Costello.
No,
it
it was like
comedy
too-
relief. It
Too
was bad.
stupid. Like if Channing Tatum had an identical twin. Like fucking
Like Josh Hartnett, because I always get those two mixed up anyway.
just like bonehead, like buff, good looking, but dumb as a stump guys. Like,
Would you sleep with her? Well, if she had it cut off, what the hell are we doing? What is this shtick? We don't need shtick.
and then other people are going to see that and say, this movie was ahead of its time. Wow. It's very, very accepted.
Very progressive.
Is it
progressive,
elevated?
yes.
It's very woke.
Yeah.
Hellraiser 4 is probably the most progressive of the series, I believe.
Hellraiser woke line. The twin. There's one. So I watched the work print version of this movie too, just to see what was cut on the floor. And there is one 5-second, not even 5, 2-second piece of dialogue when the 2 twins separate.
Yeah.
And they get on both sides of the mercenary guy. and one twin says, "I cannot be separated from my brother," and then they went back together and squished the guy.
No,
super
he
fast.
doesn't say that. Pinhead says it in the beginning.
Well, no,
He's
no,
like, I know your fear.
Yeah,
is
but
this in a different
no,
version?
this in the work print version.
Oh, I missed. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, in the work print version, the Pinhead, not Pinhead, but like so Pinhead does his whole
Yeah,
thing, but
okay.
when they separate to go kill the guy, like one of the brothers says, "I cannot be separated from my brother for long," and then they squish back together.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that still doesn't explain why this is the dumbest way to kill somebody. But oh man,
I mean, I guess you got to do something with them. That's all.
Yeah, they were cast. So
they were cast.
They were cast.
But you so you did like there were memorable moments.
No.
After you thought. No? All right, well, never mind.
Like,
Not at all.
I think Tito's feeling the same way as me because he keeps looking at me when I'm saying this. No, I didn't remember the twins until you guys mentioned them. Mentioned them 5 minutes ago. I'm struggling to remember details from this movie, and I don't know if it was because we were drinking too much because of Fantastic Four. Maybe.
Well, Tito wasn't.
I was completely
No,
sober.
Tito wasn't. Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
And he doesn't
He was
remember it either.
drained.
So I don't know if
what
I
I
can
saw.
use that as an excuse. It was entertaining but forgettable. Is my review.
That kind of sounds about right. Actually.
Yeah.
How about you, Tito?
I'm going to agree with everything Brian said
Yeah.
because I thought the same thing and I almost watched it again. I was like, oh, maybe I need to watch it again because I forgot a lot of it. But I remember thinking.
And he was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah,
He remembered thinking, "No, wait a minute, I have to pay for this."
He did
It's like the review.
He did the Chris Griffin. Wait a minute.
Like the review tag on the box of the VHS. I saw it. I think And then they said Tito. It just says, I'm sure I saw it. That's all it says.
Yeah,
brilliant.
But I was 100% positive. I was gonna think it was a big piece of shit, and it wasn't.
No,
I was like, oh, this is pretty entertaining. I
Yeah.
like the idea of the story. I think at one point at the beginning, I was like, oh, you know what would be really cool if through every part of time it was the same actor. And then Mark looks at me like, haven't you realized that's what it is? Like I was watching, I was like, you know what'd be really cool? If that shaved head guy was the same actor as the toy maker guy. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. It is the same guy. They're all the same guy.
Then we kept pointing out they obviously have to reshoot this because he's wearing a bald cap here, not wearing a bald cap here. So
I loved it. Sometimes
was
he had a wig,
it was
sometimes he had real
Kate
hair.
Mara's wig all
They
over
couldn't figure
again.
out
Yeah.
what scene happened when. And
It was
how it
like
was gonna be
Fantastic Four all over again. You could tell the reshoots because of Kate Mara's wig.
Don't insult the good name of Hellraiser Bloodline with the Fantastic
It
Four.
was fun. I thought it was a fun movie. I've never seen any of them. I enjoyed this one, which makes me think I'd probably really like the other ones if this one was.
I think
fairly
you would.
entertaining.
you would definitely like
That was
3.
pretty entertaining.
Which was really funny because you were asking questions through the thing, like, okay, so how does this happen? Where does this come from? And I was just thinking, see, if we had watched the first one, you would know. And you were like, at the time,
Mark.
you were like, this is Mark recommending a movie. This is going to be a piece of shit. I don't just, and then you even said to me, no, don't try to shoehorn the whole fucking series.
He was trying to backdoor
I'm
one,
telling
2,
you,
and
there's
3.
cool stuff in this. Not necessarily in this movie, but lead-ins.
The
And you were like,
series as a whole.
go to hell, rawhead boy. I'm not falling for it twice.
Hellraiser
what's
1 and 2.
really-
Hellraiser 1 and 2 are absolutely worth your time.
I think it's forgettable and memorable and forgettable. Totally
same
agree
time.
with that. I think the first 4 are overall worth watching. I think it creates a great mythology. It's kind of all over the place, kind of like the Highlander series. The rules change. Sometimes the demons can only come when you summon them. Other times they show up. Sometimes they say the innocent are truly safe, yet sometimes they're chasing after kids for no reason. So it's a little hampered for me. I don't get that completely, but overall, the films 1, 2, I love 3. I don't even know why. I think 3 is a
I'm the same way.
fantastically
Yeah,
fun
'cause
movie. I don't know if
It's not a great movie,
you
but
know
it's
what
fun.
it is?
It doesn't take itself as seriously as the first 2.
So this is gonna this is gonna tie into you again, Dan, because you had brought 1, 2, and 3 over. We were with a bunch of friends, and was like, we're gonna watch the Hellraiser trilogy. And I was like, all right, cool. I saw the first one. I rewatched that. Saw the second one. I liked the second one, but it kind of drags for me a little bit. To be honest with you, it's my second least favorite. Before I like it better than
Bloodline.
Bloodline.
Yeah, I mean, not
There's
Bloodline.
parts
no.
of it where I'm just kind of like,
Hellbound.
Hellbound. Yeah, I agree.
Hellbound is
See,
it's
Hellbound
got
for me
parts that try. It does do
is
good
the
with the
best.
mythology and it introduces Leviathan and all that. That's cool, but it just moves at a slower pace for whatever reason. Parts of it, I'm just like, they're back in the labyrinth again. They're out. They're in again. Make up your mind. And I don't like the way it ends.
You know, I'm really torn because like I don't want to know, but now I kind of want to know.
Well, had you had watched
I'm
the
like,
series
yeah,
with me beforehand,
fuck
like I
fuck
suggested.
this fucking movie series. I don't give a
Well,
shit.
1 and 2.
But now you're talking about it like, damn, I want to know what they're talking
Yeah.
about.
1 and 2 are both on Amazon Prime. Cost you nothing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, those ones are free.
And those 3 is nowhere
Where,
right
yeah,
now.
where did I watch it?
Well,
It's at Mark's house. You gotta
right.
It's right next to his
Go
alligator
ahead,
and his rawhead
mark
rat.
my
Shellbuck-
DVD
Shellbuck
collection
Hellraiser.
now, motherfucker.
Well, yeah.
I'll watch it whenever I feel like
And
watching
I'm
it.
done.
Yeah, I've heard, we've heard,
I
yeah.
can go home and watch it right now.
Mark, the
Out of
physical
spite.
media maven.
Damn
that.
right.
I'm gonna watch it out of spite.
That's
I'm
usually
gonna
my
go
line.
home.
I'm gonna own this. I'm gonna go watch it.
I'm gonna go home and watch it
I'm
out of
gonna
spite.
send you pictures of me
Yeah, right.
watching.
Mr. Green, I'm going home and I'm watching my DVD.
I'm going to go home and watch it with my wife.
Pays to be old.
I don't know. I don't
in the
think she'd
living
watch
room.
this.
My
Mark
wife would.
in the living room with the DVD.
What was I gonna say? I had
It
some-
sucks.
You watched it with your Steelbook.
I watched. No, I don't have the Steelbook.
Oh,
I don't.
You said Leviathan was the last thing I heard out of your mouth.
Leviathan.
And I was
So
like,
I
what?
like how they introduced Leviathan in part 2. The first 3 films are awesome. The 4th film, it, like you guys said, it's an awesome way to close out a good series. It's definitely worth watching. But I think at the time, even though they don't remember it, Brian and Tito enjoyed it more than I did. Taking it at face, I don't think it's a very good movie.
It's not.
At all.
It's a
But
movie that has potential. It's one of those bad movies
Absolutely.
that could have been a contender.
But but there's
Not for the fucking Oscars, but you know,
the Oscars.
you know, maybe the Fangorias.
I think
movie
The
award.
Oscar.
I think the
give
biggest.
me Bloodline over half the movies nominated for
my
an
God,
Oscar
no
now.
shit, really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like,
Seriously.
so I mean, it's. I don't like that it doesn't take place in space much. I don't
Right.
like that it takes 48 minutes for the Cenobites to arrive. You know, but overall, like, I like the idea of the story. It's one of those movies that, like, you can definitely see where the plot, like, on paper was or in a meeting was like, oh, you know what, that's a good idea. And I mean, there's definitely things about it that I like that I didn't expect to like.
Yeah.
Usually these movies I don't find much redeemable,
Right.
but the satellite at the end, like turning the satellite into all the satellites into a
into the
box.
box.
I'm like, all right, that's kind of cool.
That
I
is
like
cool.
that.
I mean, in a sense, it gets them. They complete the task.
And it has one of my favorite lines in the entire series with Pinhead, which is that when he's looking at Earth and the
He says,
garden.
"Welcome to
garden
Earth."
no.
That wasn't in the movie?
Oh God, Will Smith is Pinhead. I would watch that in
wasn't in the movie?
seconds.
No, the Garden of Eden, Garden of Flesh
Yes.
line is like one of the best. I love and his delivery.
Oh,
like you said, Dan, he's such a great actor. I wish that he had been in more. Well, I mean, granted, he's still alive, so he's got the chance to be. But he should be in more things.
I agree.
Yes.
Because
I agree.
he, like, any actor who is going to be in movies like this and just give it their all, like, he's a good actor. He's a classically trained actor.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's classically
This is
trained,
like Angus
but he comes
Scrim,
off
right?
as
He's like an Angus
you know what I
Scrim,
mean?
like
He's-
he
he
only
totally-
did.
Yeah, like
the-
but he should
yeah.
like totally be in more things because he like he's a dedicated actor and he plays this role. He plays the shit out of this role every time he plays
Yeah.
it, regardless of how awful the script is or awful the story.
And never
or
has
setting.
a bad thing to say about the character.
No,
He's
exactly.
not- he
Loves the
doesn't have
world.
any just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
scorn toward his fans or the fact that he's only going to be remembered for this.
I do wish that they had kept some of the original storyline stuff. Like originally there was a lot more with Angelique and him.
Yeah.
About them
I agree.
being.
Also,
they had a
I
totally
like
different.
Angelique. I'm with Dan
I
on
do
that,
like
too.
her, but
Yeah.
like at the same time, I prefer if they had played her off the way that she was intended to be played off, which is the two of them having more of an adversarial, like violent relationship.
Right.
That's in the work print.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
There's
she's
what's
also
like
she was supposed to be this like that former, from a more chaotic form of hell and pre like what Pinhead and the Cenobites have become. And,
Oh yeah, well he
made
makes
hell.
he references that
Yeah.
at one point.
Yeah,
A little,
like,
yeah, a little bit,
things
but
have
it's like
changed.
it doesn't really have any type of context to
Yeah.
kind of understand it.
Right.
There's a whole scene in the work print version where she confronts Merchant the guy in the middle, like who's working on the thing and can't get it to work with the wife and kid. And he's trying to get the thing working, and she sees him in the magazine, goes there, kills Adam Scott, which I thought was it took me at that moment when I figured that was who he was. I was like, oh shit. But
if I ever see him on the street, I'm gonna be like, dude, Hellraiser 4.
Hellraiser 4.
And then he's going to punch me.
Did you know that he went and auditioned for the next one? Like the one after this, he actually auditioned like thinking like, oh, they're not going to know who I am.
Yeah,
like, I want to do another one of these. It was a paycheck.
Like,
it was fun.
we got to give it to the guy who did Nightbreed.
But he ended up. So she goes there and she confronts him and says, once Pinhead shows up and in the modern in now in the now middle. Angelique sees him. They have their confrontation, and then she shows up with Merchant again. Calls him to her, and she basically says, "You're going to help me get rid of Pinhead, so that we can. So I'm not going to be part of his thing. I'm not going back there.
Yeah,
They're
adversaries.
Yeah, they're much more adversarial in that one, and then it's more frustrating when she gets chained up and dragged back. She's ripping pissed because she's completely screwed. She knows she's screwed when she goes back.
Yeah.
And there's even another scene later in the future that was cut where she says where she actually has dialogue about how things things are different now, but if you can help me again, and she tries to convince him again. Yeah. And
after she's become a Cenobite.
After she's become a Cenobite, she tries him again. I want to break free of this.
But what I found out, and I didn't realize until reading it, she's the daughter of Leviathan. Like, I don't know
she's
if that
princess.
means all demon.
Which makes me wonder, like, okay, so a princess goes missing from hell and they don't send a rescue mission?
Yeah, exactly.
It's hell. They don't give a shit about anybody down there.
Well, it was a more chaotic time.
They don't give a fuck.
Somebody went missing.
The honey badger of realms.
Leviathan wasn't a very good dad. He probably had about hundreds of demonic
the
daughters.
kids everywhere. He's like Walter Frey. He doesn't give a fuck about any of these kids. Where's Angelique? Oh, man. Gives a fuck.
So I think she went to the fucking mall. She's at the mall with her friends, right? She's been there.
Leviathan, you made me.
He doesn't give a shit.
That's awesome.
They don't care.
Well, we now have a Leviathan.
But the mythology is really warped and screwed up because the movie mythology built on what Clark Barker barely did any of the movie mythology, and then they just kind of ran with it. And then when he went back and did his own books, because the Hellbound Heart is not like the movie.
No.
And he's done a sequel. He actually did a sequel recently, and the sequel was it's Demore from Lord of Illusions.
Oh,
the Scott Bakula guy.
I love that movie.
Yeah, that's right. I always
Harry
fucking love
Demore.
that movie.
Yeah.
So it's a sequel to both Lord of Illusions and the Hellbound Heart. And he did the book, and there's no mention of Leviathan. It's Lucifer's in there, and Pinhead's trying to kill Lucifer. And it was like, well, wait a minute, where does Leviathan play into this? And all of that stuff is movies. So the vibe that I got is that they, every single person who tried to add to a movie just kind of twisted the mythology a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's actually the biggest issue I have with Bloodline, is that the first one is just a haunted house movie with some cool extra monsters. That's all it is. It really is just a haunted house movie. There's something in the attic. That's what it is. Yeah. The second one, that's the one that blows up the mythology and introduces Leviathan and introduces all this other stuff, and shows us the labyrinth and shows us hell and blah blah blah, and that's really cool. And then the third one is fallout from Pinhead being killed, and that the evil that was him is now the persona, the Pinhead persona is trapped in the tower. Yeah. And the human soul that was the soldier is freed, and it actually, in a weird way, Jadzia has to put, I can't think of her name, the actress. She's got to put him back together so that he because by himself.
From part 3?
In part 3.
Terry Farrell.
So Terry Farrell's character.
Joey Summers. Joey Summerscale.
Yeah. So but Joey's got to get the soldier back together with the Pinhead.
Sounds like the most made up name I've ever heard.
It's a news. She's a news lady. It's a total newswoman.
That's a news name.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of that one is that even though it's hell, hell doesn't work without human souls connected to it. There's a presence there. The fourth one introduces Le Marchand and where the puzzle box comes from, but that doesn't that's just weird backstory.
And that I don't like. That's the one thing
help.
I don't like knowing where the box came
Yeah,
from.
really?
I don't want to know the backstory. Like Mark.
No kidding.
You know how you don't like the backs? I don't mind knowing the backstory of Pinhead.
Yeah.
But I don't want to know where the box came
Which
from.
you do see in
the
part
box
two,
that
yeah.
Like I don't understand how you fucking solve a box like that. There should be more mystery to it. And B,
magic.
Everybody that's ever solved one in these movies solves it way too quickly. So it makes me feel like an idiot.
Well, you just push the button in the middle, pop the thing, push it back in, then
so it's like it's not really a puzzle.
Get some chains.
You make it not a box and you win. Like that's based on only saying 4. Once it's no longer a box, you win.
That's pretty much true.
Right?
Even in the
Like,
first
kick it
one,
down a flight of stairs, you win.
It becomes like a dagger or a spear, and you're right.
But I thought the second one and the third one progressed the mythology without doing backstory.
Yeah.
Like you just learn that this world is bigger than you thought.
Right.
But you don't know where it comes from. You don't know what Leviathan's all about. You don't know any of that stuff.
But when you
just get
open the
more of
box, it's always a wall. It's never like, it's really funny. It's hell, so you think the ground would open up. It's never a ground.
wall.
It's
It's a
always a
wall.
wall, which means
We're in
hell and earth are neighbors.
No, it's a
they're
tesseract.
just- yeah, it's awesome.
The walls are bigger on the inside.
I dug the box on a goofy level. Like I totally agree with you. The mystery is better, but I like this idea that this magician has figured out how to trap a demon and requires basically a toy.
Yeah.
Because I've seen toys that are demonic, and my kids have toys that are really fucking annoying and make me feel like I want to go to hell. Talking babies and animals that say only 2 things.
The thing too is if you're gonna get like
Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin.
it's someone's soul.
Furbies.
If you're gonna give the backstory, at least like just sprinkle it in. Instead, this like the one I keep saying the one thing, so apparently there's more than one. But one of the things that I don't like is that they spend so long with it. Like the whole 45 minutes it takes to get back to where we were in the beginning of the very beginning of the movie, and it's all like the time stuff, and like I'm sorry, I don't want to see fucking Adam Scott and you know,
get out of here, Adam.
Go back to Parks and Rec.
Go to PAX.
They couldn't find one fucking French person to exist in France.
No,
not one.
Christ.
I just,
leave it to France to trap a demon, though, right? Those jerks.
Oh, they would because
they
they want to
totally
fuck
would.
it because they're so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Well, but
Literally.
You joke
Literally, that's
about
what they
that.
did.
You joke about that, but that's the whole point of this series.
It is true. That guy
is like
what's his name? I have it.
Adam Scott?
No, the guy who plays the magician, not the actor. The name I have it here. Lazille or something. Aziz Light.
Oh, Mickey Cottrell.
What the hell is his name?
Aziz Light.
Yeah.
The one with the super makeup.
Lazille.
Duke de Lazille.
Lazille, Lazazel.
Right.
Mickey Cottrell.
Hassan Pfeffer Incorporated.
We're gonna do.
But
it.
I got so frustrated with that part of it, and then like I wanted them to do more, but the whole point of that, like as you joked about it, but the whole point of the series is about seeking pleasure and being bored with humanity.
Right.
And you know, that's Frank in the first movie, like that's what starts the whole thing.
Yep.
And then the second movie is about seeking forbidden knowledge, and the third one is about
That's J.P. Monroe who picks up the pillar thing.
Right,
the
and
sculpture.
he's bored. You know, it always comes back to to people.
Like, don't get bored.
Yeah, it's people who are trying to find them to get more and more extreme.
Yeah,
and then the ultimate extreme is to mix pleasure and pain and not understand that there's a difference.
Right.
And that's really the whole point. Is like they torture you and you love them for it.
Yeah,
you know, that's the whole point of it.
Kind of like what I do with you in bad movies.
Like
Oh, that's what this is. This is my I solved the puzzle box.
You
That's
solved
what
the
you're telling.
Yeah.
shouldn't have thrown it down the stairs. You should have just left it alone.
Down a flight of
Our
stairs and
friendship is one.
It's like a metaphor for marriage.
Oh, I didn't say anything, Sarah or Kathy.
She solved your puzzle box.
Who's Sarah?
Around puzzle box.
It wasn't hard to solve.
Is it wrong?
It burns us.
Is it wrong that I have a puzzle ring, wedding band? No.
No, not at all. No, just don't press the middle button.
Oh, this one? Ah!
Never get bored. See, this was before the internet, so everybody was bored at one point. They couldn't.
Some wives would complain that you can't find the middle button.
Whoa. I see what you did there.
That's why I kicked it down the stairs.
What? Are you drinking Derek's
Too
power
soon?
alcohol
Too
soon?
soon?
He's drinking the Kool-Aid.
Too soon. Too soon for who?
For his wife.
I guess.
You know, she's still healing.
Oh, yikes.
Well, I don't know how to lead off from that one. Anybody?
Just power right through it.
Just power right through it.
Power right through it.
I mean, we could talk about it, but we're basically
Been
giving
talking
the
It's
gist
best
of the
not
movie.
to.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to do a play-by-play.
No,
I'm pretty sure the lawyers said no.
The synopsis is basically starts in the future, goes to past, goes to present, back in the future. And it's three versions of
It's your kids,
one guy.
Marty.
Back to the
future.
Your kids, Marty, they're coming to change.
Cenobites, Marty.
It's your puzzle
Something
box,
needs to be
Pinhead.
done about your
Something's got to be
Cenobites.
done about your puzzle box. What do they become assholes? The setup of this movie, I like any movie I think that's set up that way. Where it starts the future and the guy's telling them a story, and then it goes to the past, and then it goes to the present.
Oh, so you
and then
like
we
that?
wrap
You're a
it
fan
all
of
up.
the background.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like
don't
that style
That's
of the
alright.
storytelling, the other characters.
Unless it's
I like
like
it.
an old Wendy telling Peter Pan's story, then I don't.
What is
Maggie Smith in a Hellraiser
Yeah,
film.
that'd be awesome. That'd be fucking awesome.
that I would fucking watch.
I was expecting
she
just
would-
like dead people in space. I didn't realize they were going to try. I think that I was so surprised that they tried.
Right.
Right. I thought, everybody's just going to die in space. That's what I thought.
Well,
it was.
because in number 4 movies, they usually don't.
Nobody
They
was
just-
really
right.
dying
and
until the very
I
end.
feel like the spaceship was the same spaceship from Leprechaun 4.
It probably was.
Like
It's
it was such a
dimension.
bad
It
set.
came out around the same time, sure.
Yeah.
it's very flat.
Yeah, it
turns
seems
into a
like a
box.
warehouse, not a spaceship.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Cardboard walls.
That,
Like
yeah.
like when they're in the when she's questioning him.
Yeah.
Like the little interrogation scene. Like I'm pretty sure that was in some a warehouse. Like it's probably on a dock. There was if you had turned up the volume, you probably could have heard seagulls outside or
On the
something.
background.
You know.
Hey,
I feel like the whole
those
movie looked
effects
like it was.
took a long time to get these Cenobites.
And it was
looking
all smoky.
Cenobite-y.
Like why was there so much smoke in that room?
It's hell.
Those aren't seagulls, they're Minox. Chewing on the power cables.
Oh man, they're inside the Xenogorth.
Can't do an episode without a Star Wars reference.
I wish I could have been there when they were like, "Oh, we're gonna film this other scene," and they were like, "Fuck, we shaved his head." Or fuck, we didn't shave his head yet.
Get a bald cat. One thing that really pissed me off about this movie is, as usual in almost every Hellraiser film, Pinhead dies way too easily and way too quick.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
He die at all.
He dies. The thing is, well, he seemingly dies. Let's
No, but
put
that's
it
a
that
cool.
way.
That was when they. That was the thing I
He
said when they
get-
turned the satellites into the
when-
box.
trapped
Well,
into the box.
either
It's
he-
fucking genius.
If he dies or he's sent back to hell or whatever, it's done way too easily.
Not wow.
Yeah, in the first movie, he's the first one taken out. The one who survives the longest is the Butterball Cenobite.
Right, but
And then in part 2, the doctor takes him out with one stupid hand eel snake, whatever the hell that thing is.
Oh.
Boom, dead. Joey Summerscale takes him out with one turn of a box.
Well, you know what?
Based
It's
on
like
that-
chess. It's like chess. He's the king Cenobite, and the king is
Well,
the weakest.
I think
the
Maggie
weakest one on
Smith-
that board.
I think Maggie Smith could take him out
She
pretty
probably
easily.
around.
could. She probably
I
could. If we had, that should have been I should have had Downton Abbey in space. That would have been.
He
Next
can't even
time.
lift his arms, as far as I can tell. They just hang at his side.
No, he
He
can't.
arms just hang at his side.
I think that's the costume.
He's just waiting for somebody to kill
There's
him.
a lot of leather on those
That's
shoulders.
why he has
really
other
does just
Cenobites.
like-
Yeah, in the first 2 movies, he's got a posse that he can
He's
work with.
just a leader. He's,
Yeah, he doesn't
He's like,
actually
do this, do that.
He lifts a knife to about here. I'm actually, dude. I really do think it's the costume. I don't think
Yeah.
he can actually lift his shoulder up. Because
In part
he'll
3,
pick a knife off the hip
can.
and he'll hold it like this, and then in 3 he does the whole Jesus Christ shot.
He does.
Which is good.
But do you remember when he gets taken out at the end? It's after he tricks Joey with the Nam flashback scene.
I never saw
And then
it.
the
Yes.
father, he lifts the
Spoiler.
knife up
Sorry.
like
Spoiler,
this,
I know. This guy's
but
ruining
doesn't
it
do
all.
anything after.
No.
He's just like, well, this is all I got.
I was stuck.
This is it.
Normally he looks and chains go flying over his shoulder.
That's right, but he's
So
outside. He's,
like when you've got
shit, I forgot that part.
when you've got chains from nowhere that can just stab people, it's kind of.
I know that's.
And I did
yeah.
like the meat hook fingers. I
Yeah.
thought that was a neat little.
when he
Yeah,
slices
you-
open her.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, I forgot.
Like there's a
Yeah,
couple
that
of
was cool.
Right? Like
That
that's
was cool.
there is it's one of it. This movie is wasted potential.
Yeah.
Like that's really more than anything. Like if you had to put it like that's gonna be the tagline for me on the box.
Yeah.
That's wasted potential, Dan. Like that's all it is.
Yeah, because they were like I said, like that twin scene when he turns them into the Cenobites and kills
It's
them.
good.
Mm-hmm.
That scene's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like soft serve.
And and like
fucking
the
awesome.
thing
Rolled
like
around
twists in between
the
and like
corkscrew,
pulls their, and they've got those masks that like compress them. That's super cool. And the practical effects are great. They're throughout the series, I think, really.
Yeah.
Like this is one of those series that they never fail as to deliver.
Yeah.
Special effects wise.
I would agree.
The CGI was shit, but it was like, forgivable.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
96.
It's like
It
forgivable
was
shit.
96
So I was
shit.
like,
Everybody
yeah.
had 96
I
shit.
said it was forgivable.
Yeah. It is, and it's a forgivable movie
Look
too.
what my desktop computer can do.
Special
It
effects
is,
by
it
special
is-
effects by Billy, grade 5.
If I was having a Hellraiser marathon,
Activate screensaver number 4.
Right?
I would totally throw in 4.
Oh, absolutely.
If I was having a marathon, I would throw in 4.
Yeah.
It's not wasted. It is wasted, but it's watchable. For me, it's bad, but it's watchable bad. The other 3 are like, to me, legit good films. This is just the brother that comes along for the ride, and you kind of have him. Yeah.
Wait for me, guys.
Mom said take me.
I can make some sandwiches.
All right, bitch. I don't care.
It's my brother. He's a little eager.
I don't know. Like I think my perspective is also screwed up because I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've done all the direct-to-video ones.
Did you see the ones without Doug Bradley?
I've
See,
done the
I
2.
stopped before.
How many are there altogether?
There are 10.
10. That's a lot.
So there's the ones with Doug. there are.
lot, man.
So for a while,
I'm not watching 10 fucking Hellraiser.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Get the fuck out.
So
Tito's like, that's about 6 too many.
yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
So
Hey, Tito, guess what we're doing tomorrow? No. Okay.
So for like all of the mid-late 90s, Hellraiser and Prophecy, the Christopher Walken
Oh, I
Angels
love
flick,
Prophecy.
Yeah.
they were making direct-to-video sequels.
Yeah.
And so they just kept making them after, like, just to keep the license. They would just keep making new ones.
Same company?
Yeah, same company.
Yeah.
It's
Is
all
that
Dimension.
Dimension?
Dimension. Dimension was huge with that because they're the ones that did the Dracula 2000s.
Yeah.
And the Dracula 2000 was in theaters, but the other 2 and 3,
Never
Ascension
did.
and whatever it was with
It was 3,000.
who was the martial arts guy that was in it?
Oh, was it
No.
Jason Scott Lee?
Maybe?
He played Bruce Lee in the Legend of Bruce Lee.
I think it was the guy who
played
played Liu
Mowgli.
Kang.
Liu Kang.
I almost
Jason
want to say,
Scott Lee.
yeah, in the first Mortal Kombat, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah,
But those were like direct to
Dracula
video.
2 Ascension, Jason Scott Lee.
Yeah,
Jason
Scott Lee.
Dragon, he was in the
Yeah.
Jungle Book.
Yep.
He was in Mulan, he was the bad guy in Mulan, the
Yeah.
live action one.
yeah, he's
Oh,
okay.
I never saw that.
Yeah,
Soldier.
but yeah, like five was Pinhead was in the last moment of movie 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was clearly another film from a screen. It was a screenplay nobody knew what to do with,
Yep.
and they said, "Well, just throw
Just
Doug
throw
in
Pinhead at
there,"
the end.
and because it's like it's almost like a modern film noir detective story, if I remember.
it
And
is.
Craig Sheffer is like a private eye.
He's a dirty cop.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Craig
and the
Sheffer.
and the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Nightbreed. It just the box shows up and Pinhead like appears, says a couple of things, and then leaves. And that's pretty much
Yeah,
his.
and then you find out
appearance.
he like the big spoiler is he's in hell the whole time.
Yeah.
and he's
It was hell.
all the time. Yeah, and so like and then it just kept going, and then eventually Doug they took it away from Doug and they did a Hellraiser. They did, I think, Hellraiser 9, whatever the hell that was called. That was the first one without Doug.
Yeah.
and that movie is absolute dog
Garbage.
shit.
Is it
Yeah, I mean,
Atonement?
Like I don't even fucking care.
I think it might be.
And then the newest one that they did just to hold onto the license was kind of a reboot where like they just kind of did their own thing and they completely restarted everything.
Yeah.
And now
no one noticed.
And it just
No one
came and went,
noticed.
nobody cared. And then they keep talking about doing another one with Barker.
Yeah.
And it just never gets more than 5 minutes into development.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. And like Doug's done, he's too old. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
He's given their as long as they're true to the stuff, he's given their blessing.
Mm-hmm.
But originally, I had met him at one of the conventions.
Barker?
Yeah, no, I met Doug Bradley.
Oh, okay.
I have a picture of me with Doug. He's this little itty bitty guy, Brit, and I got a picture of me and him together because he was signing at Rock and Shock. I think it might have been the one you were at.
No, it wasn't. I
no.
No, the one I was at, Wishmaster was.
Wishmaster was. Yeah, he was.
Was Doug Bradley there?
Yeah, so Wishmaster.
I missed
Dude,
him.
this was the best.
Shit.
This was the best one. You had Michael Rooker on one side. You had so the big draw was Corey Haim, last year of his life.
All right, this wasn't the same one.
Okay, so
I would have remembered Corey. Yeah, no, mine had. I mean, Wishmaster could have been at that one too.
Yeah, he was.
But the one I was at was like 2004.
Yeah, I don't know because like all I remember is like Michael Rooker was there. And he was coming off a Slither.
He may be your father.
So whatever you.
I'm your daddy.
No, definitely not. The same.
Okay, and I'm mixing them up.
Yeah.
But Michael Rooker and Doug Bradley were opposite each other at one, and it was fantastic. It was such a good one. And meeting him, but I asked him about like, how do you feel about the fact that they're making one without you? Do you think they're going to do it any justice? And he just kind of shook his head. It's like, no, this is trash. I read the script and I walked.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, if you won't do it, like just to get a paycheck, that's pretty bad.
I did Deader. Don't forget.
Yeah. So like it's just so frustrating because they just ground it into the dirt.
Yeah, which is kind of a theme with Clive Barker right now. It's frustrating. There's been talk of a Nightbreed series that has never come to be. And,
well, I thought they were doing like one that was based on his book, the Hellbound.
They were supposed to. Oh, the Hellbound.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a
and-
series, and that's why I figured like, well, maybe we'll get.
No,
the
I
real
don't know.
thing.
I don't know what's going on, but anything with Clive Barker attached is all still just in the air at this point.
Yeah.
Opens the door to the attic in the first movie.
Frank.
I love Frank.
I do.
Come to daddy.
Come to daddy.
Come to daddy.
That's Frank with a different voice, though.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That
He had
Oliver Parker's voice.
He had a very British accent
Right.
that was not easily covered.
And it's almost like an Italian movie as to how bad it's dubbed.
Well, because the original one is Robinson and Kirsty, like they moved to England, which is what because
Claire Higgins,
because Claire Higgins he marries Claire Higgins, she's the evil stepmom, but he marries Julia and they move to England to be together, and Kirsty goes along for the drive,
right?
So they're in England.
Yeah,
that's why she has the English accent. That's why the guy she picks up at the bar has an English accent, and it was just like, wait, why does Frank not have because they wanted Frank to be his brother.
Yeah.
They were like, well, Frank can't have a British accent. That doesn't make any sense. Why would he?
Unlike other Franks, I can speak with an English accent.
But
Can I come in?
Can I come in? I still love that movie.
Well, the mover, you got the moving crew. They're not very English either. The one moving the bed with. They're
I'm sorry,
very
are you
American.
guys talking about Hellraiser?
Yeah, we're talking about. We're going off subject. Let's wrap it.
We went to the better movie, Hellraiser 1.
So,
the first. Okay.
Closing thoughts before we get to Geek Flag. Closing thoughts, Brian. Let's go around. Start with.
I'd watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, mainly so I can remember it.
And would you recommend it? Say somebody saw the first one and said, "Hey, I want to see the other ones."
Yeah. Okay. I didn't think it was terrible, so yeah. I would recommend it absolutely.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, Dan.
I would agree. I think you start with one. If you loved one and you loved two and you still liked it, and then you got to three and you said, you know what, three's got some things, but I still like three. Then go ahead and finish off with four. And then if you're like, well, four wasn't very good, stop right there. just walk away. You'll thank your life. Your life will be much better if you think there were only 4 Hellraiser movies.
Sounds good. Tito?
Yeah, I was entertained.
All right.
I think. No, I was pleasant. Honestly, I was pleasantly surprised by the movie, and I was asking questions because then I was like, oh, I'm kind of interested.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'll recommend it as well. Everything, all you guys are saying, agree with all of it.
Yep.
Derek?
Same.
Okay.
Watchable.
Right.
Definitely not one of the worst that we've ever done on
Almost a
on a drink till it's good.
pleasant surprise.
We drank and it was good.
Yeah.
I would rather
Success!
watch.
The child no longer wants to swear.
I would rather watch, I think, more Hellraiser movies than go back and watch Fan Four Stick again.
Oh,
absolutely. 100%.
Like Craig Sheffer, at least is an interesting guy. Like there's nothing redeemable in Fan Four.
For me, it's like gambling because I haven't seen any of the other Hellraiser movies, but I would be willing to bet that I would much more. I would enjoy the rest of them more than having to go watch that or Phantom Menace or.
No, Phantom Menace is fine.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but I would even take Phantom Menace over the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There is actually stuff that happens in the Hellraiser movies as opposed to
Fantastic Four is definitely at the bottom of the barrel of movies that we've ever done.
It's boring. It's boring. And to boot,
there are a lot of shitty movies
we watched
that we've
Venom,
seen.
There Will Be Carnage, or Let There Be Carnage after. And that was a double
You did?
kick in the balls.
Yeah.
You watched it?
I watched
Oh,
it.
and you didn't like it? No.
I still haven't seen it.
No, it made the first one good. I can't believe it.
Well,
I
there
would
you go.
rather watch
then,
the first
then,
one again.
Hey, then you gotta win.
Yeah,
you know?
you gotta win. Because you're like, see, you gotta watch it.
I've only seen Venom the first one once.
Yeah.
Because Sony won't put them on demand anywhere.
No.
They're dickheads about it.
And they're dickheads with their movies.
And I refuse to pay $20 or whatever it is to watch those movies.
What are we watching on?
We watched it on Stars.
Yeah,
Ryan
that's what it
had
was.
Stars.
Yeah.
I have it.
All right, so we all agree
shameful.
Hellraiser Bloodline is surprisingly, you can drink till it's good, but it's kind of good to start. So drink and have fun with it anyway, because there is plenty of it to make fun of and get drunk off of. So
You can tell it wasn't
Have
that
a
bad
ball.
when most of us are drinking water tonight.
yeah,
That's true.
Drink till it's better. It's already good. You
Drink till it's
drink it
water.
till it's better.
Geek Flags Flying. Who's starting? Who would like to start? Derek?
I got a few things. The first thing is
Half
Things,
mass.
half-mast. Yes,
Half
yes,
mast.
half-mast. I've got
Our geek
2 half-masts and one full.
He's got a semi.
But all of it is Batman. All of it is Batman related. All
right.
I'm going all Batman tonight.
Oh, surprise.
Yeah. I mentioned it before. Batman Unburied.
I just want to interrupt really, really quickly because that's on mine.
Oh,
But
okay.
talk about it. I think it's awesome. But go ahead.
All right. No. I just
I'm
want to
not
say
gonna talk
so it's up
Same
to
here.
Yeah,
I listened to all 6 episodes so far. Too. I think it's
they're up
wonderful.
to episode 6s right now. That the reveal in 5 is awesome.
I'm at 4 right now.
Okay, I wait until 5. 4 is great. 4 is the Babs and Riddler one. Fantastic episode, well acted. The guy that plays Riddler is Hassan Minhaj.
Is that who that
I
is?
did
Political
not know
commentary
who
type
did
show.
his voice. For a while there, I
Yeah.
thought it was Seth Green.
Really?
He had a very Seth
that.
Green
Yeah, I could kinda
sound
see
to
that.
his voice
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Robot
Yeah.
Chicken Zone.
Well, that's like
Exactly.
so Jonathan Rhys Davies does the Dr. Hunter.
Yeah.
Yes.
And every time I hear him, I think of Anthony Hopkins. But Winston Duke's Batman voice, it finally appears. We finally hear and see. Well,
it does?
Yeah,
I
hear
was
Batman.
telling my buddy Paul at work because I got him into it.
Yeah.
And he agreed with me when Batman discovers that the Riddler was helping out Barbara Gordon, he sounded just a little Bale-ish.
Yeah.
When he said, Riddler!
Where are they? A little bit, but when like that first transition where you're hearing Bruce Wayne and then all of a sudden, like he realizes he comes out of it and remembers that he's Batman. Like that voice was great. I'm like, oh, I love it. I love it.
Actually,
Was it episode 5? It was called Work Clothes.
Yeah,
I love that. Alfred, get my work clothes.
I would like an entire. Honestly, I would like, and I'm only 4 in. I would love an entire podcast of Barbara Gordon and the Riddler.
I do. I like they have really good chemistry.
Fucking awesome.
The girl that does Barbara and actually the girl that does Renee Montoya. But yeah, like the acting is great, and even just the fact that like. So the last couple of episodes have a lot of action. There's a lot of action sequences, and to have action sequences without any like being able to see anything and do it this well, it's fantastic. So real quick, the other 2 things. So bunch of news dropped on Gotham Knights. I didn't even realize Gotham Knights is the name of the new video game that's coming out, but it's also the name of a new CW. Well, CW picked it up.
Oh God, help us!
It's a Berlanti.
I was like, oh, that video game. Who cares?
Yeah, and then it was like, oh no, it's a
not the video
cast, like
game?
like a cast shot leak. What?
Yeah.
Is it another Batman show about
right.
Batman?
So this is what it is. All right.
Yeah, that's yes.
Yes. Well, to be honest, both of them are because all right. So first of all, the game.
Well, the game I understand.
The game takes place. Batman's dead. The kids are taking over.
Yeah.
It's Tim, Jason, Dick, and Babs. They show there's a new
Babs?
video. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Thank God it's not Batman.
You said Jason, Dick, and Babs.
Oh, Jason.
You did. You did.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
You should have said.
They dropped a video for it, like a little teaser trailer thing. The Court of Owls is going to be very centric to it, which is great. So I am like somewhat excited. The Penguin itself was very Colin Farrell-ish, like the look of him and the way that the guy read the lines. So like that's cool. The gameplay itself looks like it's probably going to suck. The design of the characters kind of sucks. There's like the Jason Todd he looks a little fat. And I heard from someone that he has like.
Well, come out of the Lazarus pit. You put on it.
Apparently, he has like some powers
Steroids will
and
do
stuff, and they're like playing it off like, well, when he was resurrected by the Lazarus pit, like he came back with powers, like with these powers, and I don't even know what they are yet, but I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm a little, up in the air about it.
Is that your half mask?
No, that one's a little bit, and this is where it gets to full half mask.
Okay.
Which makes no sense.
No.
But,
No.
but it's the
Lone
show.
Rangers.
That was a mad
it's
moment.
the show.
Right
When
there,
I
man.
learned about the show and I started hearing like seeing what was going on with it, it's really like a 50-50. This could go either way.
CW series, you said?
CW picked it up. It's a Berlanti series. So which
And
means
it's not
which means that HBO didn't want it.
No thanks.
So the show itself, all right, so the premise of this is, again, Batman's dead. There's a new adopted son called Turner Hayes. He's got fucking how many kids? You couldn't use one of the ones that already exist, first of all.
Right.
Second of all, like the list of characters they have. So basically, Turner Hayes is teaming up with a bunch of kids who are the offspring of villains. But so he forms an alliance with these kids because they're all trying to prove that Batman wasn't murdered by the kid's parents. Like that's not how he died. They're trying to figure out how he really died and kind of exonerate the fucking villains. There is, like, as far as the characters and the casting, some are great, some I think are stupid. Anyway, so Misha Collins from Supernatural is playing Harvey Dent, which I am looking forward to seeing
All right,
that.
that's a good cast.
The only thing is I think the actresses that they chose for Duella and for Steph Brown, they should have swapped. I when I saw the picture of the girl's name is Olivia Rose Keegan, she's playing Duella Dent. She looks like she would make a great Stephanie Brown.
Okay.
The other girl, Anna Lore, who plays Steph, she actually played Penny Farthing in Doom Patrol, one of Crazy Jane's
All right.
personas.
Okay.
Yeah. It worries me.
Yeah, so
The
how is this
casting
making your
worries-
geek flag fly if you're thinking it's
Well,
going to be
but
horrible?
that's what I mean. Is like
I was wondering the same thing,
I'm
Ryan.
excited.
It's that lower
but
half mask.
that's why, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like it's
Lower.
I'm torn. I'm really torn about it because I want exactly. I want to be super
I
excited
totally
about
get
it.
it. He's a huge Bat
Yeah.
family fan, but it already sounds like
I'm
they're
always
whizzing on
wary
this.
whenever I hear of a new Bat project.
What was it we called it? Cautiously optimistic?
Yes. Yes.
All right, what else? you
Yeah.
got?
No, that's it. That's
it?
I don't want to. I don't want to keep going.
All right.
I could go a lot longer with Batman stuff, but
Really?
No, that's
Oh.
it. So.
Brian, how about you, pal?
Hey, so I'm going with Derek. The Batman Unburied is really good. I started listening last week. I did all 4 of the first 4 episodes last Tuesday. Yesterday, as of this recording, the episodes 5 and 6 dropped, and it's fantastic.
I love the way they drop them too.
Yeah,
The 2 at a time
I
is
like
really
I
good.
like getting 2 at a time because they're not long.
That's what we've heard about.
Oh
you,
yes,
man.
yes, the more the merrier.
Finger cuffs.
I flew him while Cody fucked me.
That was your Joy Lauren.
That was my journal. That's pretty good. Drives me nuts.
Spot on.
If you watch Chasing Amy again, the more she yells and screams and lectures at Ben Affleck, the more she sounds like Sally from Charlie Brown.
Oh my
She sounds
God.
exactly like a fucking Peanuts character. When she goes on her tirade, is that what you want to hear? It sounds exactly like Sally. I expect any minute for her to go, I want raspberry raisin and trick or treat, the great pumpkin. I could have had candy and everything. And you owe me restitution. Shut up.
The best part about that movie is Hooper X.
Oh, that's
Hell
right.
yeah.
That's a great
Oh, my God.
I wanted the
What's
whole
What's the
movie.
Nubian?
I want
Yeah.
that. I want
I
that
wanted
comic
the whole
book. I
movie
want
to
his
be
comic book.
Yeah, I
I
know.
want his comic book.
Yeah.
Dude, when he's the best, he is the best part of that movie.
He really
is
is.
the Heath Ledger of that film.
He really is. He steals the show. Every scene that he's in, he steals the show. How come you sound like the? How come you sound like Dr. Farrakhan on stage, but the King of Pop when you're not? Watch out, boys. This kitten's got claws.
What's a newbie? Shut the fuck up.
Bitch, you almost made me laugh.
What else? You got anything else?
I'm just still loving Star Trek Strange New Worlds.
check it out.
Episode 2 was better than episode 1. I'm looking forward to episode 3. Drops tomorrow.
It's Shatner's. Well, not Shatner. It's
Christopher Pike.
Christopher Pike.
Oh. All right. So the one from the newer movies, but younger. The Admiral.
No.
Admiral, right?
No.
Isn't Pike the one that
All right.
hires?
So
goes to bat for what's his name?
No, he's the one that dies.
In the movie, Christopher Pike was played by in the J.J. Abrams ones. You're talking about? Yeah, he was played by Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I thought that was Thor was Christopher Pike.
No, Thor was Kirk's dad.
Thor was Kirk's
dad.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes. That's at first. That's what I was thinking. But
yeah.
But Pike. So Pike is the it's the younger. He's the one that ends up going to bat for Kirk.
But it's following the original series timeline, kind of, where Christopher Pike has a horrific accident. He gets deformed and disfigured, and in this, without giving too much away, in this series, his character kind of originated on Discovery. This is almost a spin-off of Discovery, even though it's kind of like a prequel to the original series. But in Discovery,
Hellraiser doesn't.
Yeah, I know. In Discovery, he saw his own death.
Okay.
Through something that happened. He knows when and where he's going to die and how. So he's reluctant to take the job of coming back to the Enterprise at the beginning of this show. Because he knows in 10 years or so, he's going to meet his death if he continues down this path. But he does it anyway, out of a sense of duty.
And it was in the script.
He said duty.
And I just like it. I like it a lot. I love the cast. I love the way that it's an episodic story. Each week is almost like the monster of the week kind of thing, like the original show was. It's not an overreaching arc, like a series-long arc. And it's really good.
Now, are they only planning like one season, or
no? They're planning to continue it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about the
cautiously
Star Trek
optimistic though. It's written and produced by Akiva Goldsman.
Oh,
yeah,
Goldsman?
Yeah, and he
hit or miss.
He's very hit or miss. More miss than hit, unfortunately.
He did do Elektra, didn't he?
No,
Did he?
no, worse.
Ghost Rider?
He did the Schumacher Batman movies.
Oh.
He wrote the Schumacher Batman movies.
With
he wrote,
Val Kilmer?
He wrote I Am Legend. He wrote the Transformers, was it Last Night?
He's not good enough to be cloned.
Yeah, but he also wrote Cinderella Man, and he wrote
That's a great movie.
A Beautiful Mind.
So he has a hard on for Russell Crowe
in those two. Anyway,
he's a good example.
No, that's Ron. Those are both Ron Howard movies.
Oh, that's yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a great example of when that there is a very big difference between a script and the actual shot work.
Yeah.
That like the director, like the script is the script, and then the director and the producer can ruin any script.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
I mean, you talk about those movies. Nobody talks about the writing in those movies being bad. It's always this movie's shot like crap, and it looks like this.
Didn't he write all those one-liners, or was that ad-libbing by Arnold?
I would say it was like 90% ad-lib by Arnold.
Oh, totally.
Okay.
I remember him talking about
Then
that.
I'll allow it.
It's Arnold. How are you going to argue
Cool
with
party.
Arnold?
I'm still cautiously optimistic. His name is attached to those dog shit movies. But yeah, I'm loving Strange New World. Loving it.
So 2 episodes now?
2 episodes now. Episode
And do
3
they
drops
drop
tomorrow.
on- okay,
they
Thursdays.
come out every Thursday on Paramount Plus.
All right. Picard's
Yeah,
the
so
same way, right? Picard drops on Thursdays?
Yeah, but Picard is over. So
oh, that's right. Yeah, the
season
last
2 of
one.
Picard ended, and basically that week or the following week, Strange New Worlds picked up. So
okay,
yeah. So it sounds like
I'm
what I
getting
said,
more
what I
into
talked
Star
about
Trek.
last week. But yeah, that's basically it.
Hey.
Okay.
Cool.
Dan?
So I got 3 things. One is, you guys will be proud of me, I started reading comic books for the first time in a long time. I picked up the Metal series. So I got DC. I did Prelude to Metal. I just did DC Metal, and now I'm gonna do the 2 spin-off ones. I've got all the trades. I didn't buy the issues. I just got all the trade paperbacks. And I really did enjoy DC Metal a lot. I thought that was a lot of fun. And you really do need to put on a heavy metal soundtrack in the back while you're reading it because
they have them.
It makes it.
They've
way
actually
better.
put out.
They do.
Like
Yeah.
DC licensed.
Yeah.
Metal CDs,
So-
metal albums. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very much enjoying it. I'm going to follow it through. What got me started on it was my son and I really both like the look of the Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah.
And we didn't know anything about that character at all. And when I found out he spun out of metal as like the big of the Bat crew that comes from the other dimension, he's the coolest.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well let's go see what Batman Who Laughs is and go check this guy out. So I have the entire chain. I found the
reading list.
Yeah, this is the read order if you want to know who the Batman Who Laughs is. Go read all this. So I'm just running down the list in graphic novel order, and it's been fun. I haven't read comic books in a long time.
You know what you don't see as much of anymore in comic books? Like if you're slightly interested, go to issue.
Yes.
Boom, boom.
Right.
Yeah. Tell me
the little box.
Yeah,
The little
You care a little bit.
Yeah, with
to
the
find
asterisks,
out?
like
Star a little cat.
like,
issue
oh,
this.
you don't know what we're talking about? Well,
Yeah.
see issue
Check out
such
issue
and
this,
such of
whatever.
Uncanny
DC Metal
X-Men.
did that.
or-
Yeah.
DC Metal
Yes.
did that.
Yeah.
You know, like they had little thing that said like, if you don't know what we're talking about, and they even
Yeah.
joked about it.
Yeah.
We know you don't know what this is. Go see this issue. Like
Yeah.
they had little gag jokes
Yep.
like of those things. Like they knew that they were talking about too many different things at once. And I was like, all right, this is great. So I'm enjoying reading DC comics again. I got them on my tablet, and I got downloaded a bunch of them. I have a 12-inch tab that's even a little bit bigger than yours. And
Sucker.
It ain't the size that counts.
well, it's nice. It's nice,
But it is easy
It's
to
nice for 46-year-old Dan who needs glasses, who can bring out can pinch and zoom the comic book panels and actually read them, and they look good. So I'm enjoying that.
Putting it away. It's not appreciated.
He's bashful.
That's like
I
my
just
wife.
humiliated his tablet. I'm
I'm just gonna put it away. You don't want to.
Wow.
Use it.
So-
anything else?
So I'm sorry. So from a comic books, I'm really excited because I'm finally reading comics again. The other thing that's been getting me that I've been enjoying is I'm doing Wheel of Time, the novels.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I did the Amazon series, and I realized watching the Amazon series, I'm like, I kind of like this, but I feel like this is not right, and so I was okay with it. It didn't it was kind of one of those I felt like it was like a drought, like a show that I watched in the middle of a drought of stuff that I just wasn't interested.
Filler.
So so I was kind of like, well, is this as good as I think as I want it to be, or is it actually just kind of trash? And I enjoyed it enough that I was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go back and redo the books, and then you forget that there's 16 of them. So I'm on book. Yeah, and they're 1,000 pages each. So I'm on book.
Who has the time?
6. Well, so
6?
I don't read them. I have the audios.
There you go. I was going to say, how did you get to
You have them read
six?
to you.
So I have.
That takes like weeks.
Yes. Well, it's.
I was like, I'm gonna listen to Game of Thrones on audio in like a day or something, and I was like, 32 hours.
Yeah. No, it's so the
Who the
advantage.
fuck's got time for that?
So the advantage of having a jogging schedule, where I'm jogging a couple times a week.
Yeah.
It's like I found that I can just put on a book and go miles,
Yeah.
and I can just tune out, and it gets me over run humps and stuff like that, where I'm starting to fade out, and then driving down to Brian's house, it's like I got through a good sizable chunk of a chapter driving down here, so I don't mind going for hour-ish drives because I can just chew that out with big chunks of audiobook. Cool. I've been doing that since the 90s. So it's been really fun to go back and revisit. I only got to book 9 originally when they first came out because book 10 was a prequel, and that pissed me off so bad at the time because it was like I've been waiting and waiting. I finally got through 9 of these fucking books, and now we're going back to before book 1. Fuck you, and just walked. Now that I know there's an end game, I'm willing to kind of push through.
Is it on Spotify?
I don't know.
Not Spotify.
It's on Audible.
Audible.
Audible has the whole set. Yeah.
Nice.
And
Amazon.
what's her name? The woman the woman they banked the show on. I can't think of her name now.
Oh, from Gone Girl.
Yeah, Gone Girl.
Oh, Rosamund Pike.
Rosamund Pike.
Rosamund Pike.
So Rosamund Pike has been doing new versions of the audiobooks where
cool.
she reads them.
Oh, nice.
And
I like her voice.
that's pretty solid.
Former Bond girl, bro. Former Bond girl.
Who was
Bond Bro.
She was forget her name, but she was in Die Another Day.
I've always liked Rosamund Pike. So
Yeah.
Miranda Frost is her character name.
That's it. What? No, that's the one.
No, but those are the two big ones. I was thinking of Batman. I'm enjoying reading.
I'm glad that I mentioned it the first time because I feel like I've definitely turned people onto it, and I'm glad because it is. It's good stuff.
Yeah. And then Dune. I know you guys haven't done the Dune episode, but
that movie's awesome.
fucking A, I've watched that movie 6 times now.
Did you hear Walken is
Yes,
gonna be in the
I
new one?
did.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so. I immediately put up a meme. You know, like I feel that I have a fever, and that fever is for more spice.
I saw that.
I was like I cannot wait. I'm so happy with that casting.
Yeah.
You know, and then somebody put up a picture of him from Balls of Fury, in the Asian outfit. And I was like, yeah, that really is gonna be what we get, isn't it?
The Chinese called Pang.
I was like, oh god, he's already been the emperor. This is fantastic.
I love that movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Balls of Fury?
Balls of
Balls
that's
of
a fun
Fury.
ass movie.
Whoa, hold on. These are replicas. Well, some of them are.
The best is when you realize that that's the guy from, you know, he goes on to be in friggin' Fantastic Beasts and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
And it's got Lopan in it.
The main guy from Balls of Fury is the best friend in the New York guy from Fantastic Beasts.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Also Adam's uncle from the Goldbergs.
Yeah, the uncle.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Target Josh Gad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dan Fogler.
No, Scrooge. He's
Yeah.
much better.
Oh yeah, he's better than
way
Gad.
longer than
No.
Gad. Fuck Gad.
Gad is the
He's
target. That
he's the
guy.
Neiman Marcus.
He's the
Gad.
Marcus.
That's what he is.
But no, good stuff.
Oh,
Cool.
let's have fancy one of them all.
Tito?
Yeah, so Unburied. I started listening to that today, actually. I got through a few episodes. And then the only other thing that I'm really music's been kind of my deal lately. Kendrick Lamar dropped a new album last week, Mr. Morale and the High Steppers, and it fucking blew my mind. It's a double album, 18 tracks, but it's nice.
Is the tagline "Here come the hot steppers"?
No, it should be
Oh,
though,
it
right?
should,
It's
totally.
like
Totally.
him and a bunch of like. There aren't a ton of features, but the features are very like now poppin' like popular rappers,
Yeah.
right? Mixed kind of with his style of more conscious, thought-provoking music
Yeah.
and this blend of the two. And it's fucking phenomenal.
I feel like Kendrick Lamar was what Kanye West was supposed to be.
Yeah, with less ego.
You know what I mean?
He's
Yeah.
got less ego.
Like very
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
less
yeah.
ego.
Yeah,
Like
way
he's,
less.
And like you said, thought provoking.
Skill-wise,
he's
yeah.
he's a deeper musician than
top tier.
a lot of the guys that are probably on that album with him. Yeah.
He's someone similar to like, you know, not like I love Bowie, I love Prince, and I like dudes like Kendrick Lamar whose music has evolved.
Yeah.
You always hear Bowie and Prince in the music, but it's always
it's
a little
different.
bit different.
Yeah.
And
I will still
as
listen
far as
to.
hip hop is concerned, it's similar
I will still
to
listen
that.
to the Batman album from Prince anytime somebody wants to put it on. I love that
Kendrick
album.
Lamar did the main song
The
from
Pan-
Black Panther.
He did the whole soundtrack to
Right?
Black Panther.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
He
awesome.
produced and he's
No, that was really
featured
good.
on a bunch of that.
That's not my usual bag of tricks, but I can appreciate stuff that's outside my usual range.
Sure.
You know, I'm sitting here with a freaking Iron Maiden shirt on, but you know, but I come like I remember in the like 89, 90, 91 just listening to anything top 40. You know, it didn't matter what it was.
for sure.
So like,
I still do that.
Yeah, so I can turn on, you know, Kiss 108 and then turn on HJ White and not throw up. You know, it's like, you know, it's
But yeah, that's about it.
cool.
For me.
All right.
And I'm watching the same old shit, so.
Never a problem.
Same old
Usual.
What about you?
Bunch of Seinfeld.
Batman Unburied. Listen to the first episode today.
No way.
Absolutely
Oh,
loved
yeah, what's
it.
that like?
I took all your recommendations. Batman Unburied is very impressive.
Yeah.
Love what I'm hearing so far. Can't wait to hear more. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Brian recommended
You
this to
fucking
me,
unoriginal bastard.
and I said I don't want to watch it. I said, no, you're right. I mean, I am piggybacking off all this, but it was your recommendations that got me here, and
Next, he's
I
gonna
was
say he's been reading
cautiously
Batman.
optimistic.
It's nice to rub off on you once in a while.
You.
Like, no, that's not what I meant.
No, but you're sitting next to me because you're
all right,
phrasing.
sorry, it's
phrasing.
It's nice to influence you for a change.
Wait, now I
So
got-
you were
I
against-
have not been thrilled with all the new stuff coming out from Star Trek.
No.
I gotta give Picard another chance because I promised Sarah I would, and
You
we're
still
getting.
haven't?
We've been busy.
Dude, how many times has she seen Alligator, dude? Watch the fucking show.
First of all,
Stop
watch
watching
that
Alligator,
show.
Mark.
Oh, motherfucker.
Watch the damn show.
I'm gonna text her right now.
Is this what happens? Everybody gets salty at the end? Like,
No, I really loved it. It was It was very classic Star Trek to me. It went back to what I love about Star Trek in the first place. It wasn't all yelling. It wasn't all swearing. It wasn't all
No agendas.
Nothing. It was classic. Just what Star Trek went for in the first place. The ideology behind it, the message that it got. It just did. It just felt. It was the first thing that felt like a Star Trek film, and I have not seen the second one yet, but I cannot wait to get to it. Awesome recommendation, Brian. Absolutely.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it kind of went back to the core principles.
Yes.
Of the show, and I think that's why.
And again, this show is awesome. So those are the big two things, and the She-Hulk trailer dropped, and again. It looks like it's actually going to have She-Hulk in a show called She-Hulk.
You know what's funny? I saw that trailer and I was thinking, like, Mark's going to hate this.
So it's like, who's going to be the villain of the show?
Abomination.
I saw Abomination.
Yeah, but Abomination's kind of a good guy now.
No.
He hangs out with fucking Wong.
Nah, the vibe that I got from that is that like, because there's a quick shot where you see Blonsky's.
But they are going to
cells
have villains
broken.
in it, right? I heard the leader was going to be in it, or is
I
that
hope.
bullshit
I have
too?
no idea.
I did not like Moon Knight because Moon Knight wasn't in Moon Knight.
She could be doing any number of things.
Yeah.
As long as she's green doing it, then you're okay.
As long as she's She-Hulk.
She's doing
yes,
laundry.
If it
I'm
was
hoping.
27 minutes of her walking a dog, you'd be like, well, at least she's She-Hulk.
Absolutely.
I fucking
Same.
hate Professor Hulk. I hate
See, I thought
regular
I'm not
Hulk I
happy with
like.
it.
Professor Hulk is
There
fuck
is that
yourself.
scene when they're jumping through the air and shit. I'm hoping he at least does some fighting in this one.
Yeah,
I hope Hulk does some smashing.
I doubt it.
And
I doubt it.
She smash She-Hulk.
Does he still have his tiny little Tyrannosaur arm?
He did not. He did not.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess that got healed somewhere
The old
down
finger
the line.
snap. I mean, it should raise the fucking Hulk, man.
Yeah.
You can't.
I like
put good
the
Hulk
actress.
down.
The actress is great.
I think she looks fine.
She-
I don't know.
cool.
If
I
you
didn't
haven't
have a
seen
problem
Black
with it.
or
Orphan Black, Tatiana
you gotta-
Maslany.
Yeah, you got to
Oh,
see
is
it.
that
It's
what she looks
fine to me.
fantastic.
Yeah, that was good.
We'll see.
one of her
Okay,
dates.
Brian's giving us the signal.
Oh.
We got to wrap this up. For those of you who have not quit yet, thank you very much for listening and sticking this episode out because goddamn did it go south. But a lot of fun. Dan, thank you for joining us again.
Oh, it was awesome.
As always. Hey, if you want to hear Dan in past episodes that he's been on or just episodes in general, Brian, where can these poor souls go?
You can head over to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.
The number 3.
gdpodcast.com. There you can find this episode, all of our past episodes, links to our social media sites, our email. You can also rate and review our show. And we also have a Ko-fi page. If you would like to throw us a couple of shekels our way, it would go to helping us keep the podcast going. So thank you very much. And take it away, Mark.
All right. Thank you again. I will wrap this up saying I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Tito.
I'm Leslie Stahl.
We got one more 4 to go, and hopefully we can make it through it. So
We've already done. Oh yeah, Karen.
we have.
4 is almost up. All right, I'm sad. I love this time of year. It's like Christmas for me. We got one more drink till it's good. Number 4. What is it? You're gonna have to tune in next time to find out. Same bad time, same bad channel. So until then, keep watching space because Pinhead's up there somewhere. Good night. Good luck, and God help you all.
How many sign-offs are you gonna do? Jeez.
You can also find us on Telegraph.
And that's
you go
the
dot, dot,
news.
dot, dash, dash, dash. I keep waiting. It's
You're gonna give you 2
Are you
cents.
drinking a boozy Powerade drink? Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
Derek.
he's vodka.
How
and
the mighty
Powerade?
have fallen.
Is that
What
It's not like I brought, it's not like I brought a nip. I was offered booze, and I
You're
said
gone
yes.
for 1 week, and this is what
I gotta make up for it.
Begins already.
Oh, you almost snorted that.
All over your iPad, man.
Oh my goodness.
Are you gonna watch the movie while we're doing the episode?
No. I got my notes.
Look
Oh,
at this guy. No.
cheating.
Good job.
I'll mark. See, this is what you should do.
Nah, fuck
So
that.
that you don't have, like,
I'm
the-
going
Oh, what a
back
great
Issues with-
dichotomy we have
Look
here.
at this. I have nothing to worry about. I'm Thoreau now, man.
He's
Mark's
throwing.
totally analog.
I'm Walt
I was
Whitman.
gonna say you just thinking with Thoreau.
I'm Walt Whitman, baby.
What about his throat?
Leave my throat out of this. Yeah, no, I got stuff to like spearhead through it, but feel free to talk about the movie as much as you want. Obviously, I'll take us through the plot. I'm
Could have
ready.
been somebody.
I could have been. I could have been.
I could have been a contender.
Could have been a pinhead.
We good to go?
I'm ready when
Good
you
to
are.
go.
And you've got Paula Marshall in part 3, who was the reporter in Seinfeld who thought George and Jerry were gay. So it all Seinfeld and Hellraiser share
Not
a
that there's
universe.
anything wrong with that.
Not that there is anything wrong with that.
I would watch Seinfeld.
Seinfeld and what's with these chains?
What's with all?
What's with all the
What's with the lack of oxygen?
Jesus
wept.
Where's all the gravity?
George, you see that female
Who took
Cenobite?
it? Where'd it go?
Who
Where are they
took the
keeping it?
gravity?
That female Cenobite's a Two-Face. She's really ugly in the first film, but kind of hot in the second one.
Hey Jerry, I opened this box.
It's the summer of Pinhead!
Mr. Pinhead? Mr. Pinhead? Mr. Peepers?
No sex for you.
Pinhead
No
is-
skin for you.
It's the soup Nazi.
No skin for you.
You're pushing your luck, little man. Tear your soul apart. Next!
Yeah, but I don't want to see Elaine. You know,
Dancing.
Merchant party at 3. Merchant.
Merchant 4.